Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today to go over what I like to call, or what I shouldn't say I like to call it because it's the first time I'm ever going to call it this, but what I am going to call a Tale of Two Chyrons. So this is my first recording, or batch of recordings that I'm doing after Trump's arraignment in Miami this past Tuesday. So I'm recording this on a Saturday, which is why you're not seeing this until Sunday. But these articles that I'm going to go over are both from Red State. They're both from June 14th. And I don't know if you guys watched the arraignment stuff or the speech that Trump did in New Jersey after that, but there were a couple of different places that had vastly different chyrons that kind of show you the political bias in this country. And I thought it was kind of humorous to go over. And I'm not going to go through both articles in their entirety because you'll certainly get the point of what I'm trying to say. So I'm not cutting that out. So the first article that we have is "The Left Melts Down After Fox News Chyron Gives Biden a Jaw-Dropping Label." And just to scroll down to show what it is, it says, "Wannabe dictator speaks at the White House after having his political rival arrested." That was Joe Biden with his comments, which, I mean, I guess I can't really complain about that because that's kind of true. And it's also kind of humorous that they're doing it. So remember that Fox is a private company. They're basically allowed to do what they want. They're not government funded like, you know, a certain other organization that we're going to go over momentarily that shouldn't be taking political sides. But Fox says this, and I mean, how many times have we seen Biden doing dictatorial things? Like, how many executive orders has he had? I mean, he basically tries to enrich his family members, you know, at the behest of the rest of the country. For an example, instead of me going or trying to remember everything that happened or everything that would mark him as a dictator, go find Tucker Carlson's episode 4 that's called "Wannabe Dictator" on Twitter. And that it's just an absolutely brilliant monologue about Joe Biden and all that stuff that's going on with just all this wannabe dictator stuff. Definitely go check it out. Even if you don't have Twitter, you should still be able to, you know, search for Tucker Carlson on there and listen to it. Even if you're not a fan, just listen to it. It might open your eyes to something. So I just thought it was pretty funny to show that you have Fox here saying "wannabe dictator" for Joe Biden after Trump doing his thing. And I don't think there was anything else here. Yeah, and then, of course, Oliver Darcy complains. Oliver Darcy, if you don't know who he is, he works for CNN, and he's not exactly known for telling the truth, which is basically same as anybody else that works at CNN. And he's complaining about this, you know, never mind the fact that he himself has lied about numerous things. Then here comes all the left-wingers that are like, "Oh my God," essentially. We're just going to keep kind of going down. And they're just like, "Holy geez, how could they do this? Oh my God, it's awful." You know, Fox, oh geez, God. So that happens. And then you go, okay, well, let's look at the actual government-funded outlet here. So remember, Fox is a private company. They're allowed to put stupid things on their labels like that, you know, on their chyrons. But PBS, remember, is government funded. So, like, they're getting money from their government. They're supposed to be impartial. They are obviously not impartial. They lean very much to the left. So Fox says "wannabe dictator," which, again, it's an exaggeration, but there's definitely a ring of truth to it. But let's see what PBS says here. So this is an embedded tweet in this article from the Post Millennial. And just to mention really quick, since I just remembered it, both of the articles here with these two tabs are linked in the description below if you actually do want to go read them. But this, back to the story, the embedded tweet here from the Post Millennial says, for PBS, "Violent rhetoric has escalated in online forums and far-right militia groups since Trump's federal indictment. Do they provide any examples of this? Of course they don't. They're trying to scare you." How many far-right militia groups are there out there? There's not a lot, okay? So probably no one that you could actually be worried about at all. And violent rhetoric, what is that violent rhetoric? We don't know. They don't tell you what that is, okay? And Trump's federal indictment was like not that much long or before this, so like how much could there have really realistically been? You know, never mind the fact that people on their side of the political spectrum spew violent rhetoric pretty much on a constant basis, and never a chirp from them about it. Why don't we ever hear anything? So, of course, there's always the defund PBS, which if I was made the authoritarian ruler of the universe, I would certainly do. That'd be like one of my first things that I do. And then they changed the chyron here to say, "Experts warn that inflammatory rhetoric from elected officials or people in power can prompt individual actors to commit acts of violence." So the first thing I think of after I see that is, what about Joe Biden's MAGA speech that he did a number of months ago? This one where he looked like essentially Emperor Palpatine and says Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent extremism that threatens the very foundation of our republic, which is nowhere near the truth. Because what I would say to Joe Biden is, how many MAGA folks out there have committed like large-scale shootings? Oh, 0, you say. Okay, well, that's definitely less than the folks that support you. You know, I mean, all I need to do is simply point to one example, because we haven't actually done one on our side. So your example that I could give you is the Nashville shooter, whose manifesto has not been released yet. There, I'm done. I win. And why do they think Donald Trump represents an extremism? They're not extremists. What Joe Biden doesn't understand, and what the people that support him don't understand, is that they are the extremists. They are the folks that think extreme ideas, okay, and extreme things, and that they are the ones that are the actual threat. How can I prove this? Just look at all the things that are going on right now in this country, okay? That you have people that are in far left areas just getting let loose for committing crimes, okay? That all these DAs are just letting those people go, but what, they're not a threat to the republic? They're letting criminals walk free to commit more crime and kill even more people. You know, people that should still be very much alive if it wasn't for their policies. Okay, so sorry, President Biden, you lose this one, and also you shouldn't be president because your brain is made out of tapioca or something. But I just wanted to point out in both of these articles here, and of course it's got to reload every time I switch tabs. I don't know why it's doing that, but check that out. If you want to see just an example of media bias right in front of your face, doesn't even try to hide it, go check out these articles here. You can see what Fox News did. Again, a private company just kind of being like, haha, though it has a ring of truth to it, or a government-funded outlet that should not be doing that because they're not supposed to be doing that. You know, that's where our money goes, is for these guys. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.